motion for the minutes?
I make a motion, Mr. President, to approve the minutes.
Second?
Second.
Questions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed? Mayor's report.
For the police department, 22 traffic citations, 10 warnings, non-traffic, 3 disorderly conduct, criminal, 2 DUI, 1 theft by deception, 1 receiving stolen property, ordinance 2 investigations regarding overgrown property conditions. And he has a comment here about Halloween. Residents and trick-or-treaters need to be aware of small children who are crossing the streets in search of candy and not properly watching for passing motorists. Be safe and make sure you have lots of extra candy. I have a couple of other concerns. Since the street department has hired another worker, that street sign over here on the corner of Harrison and Butler Road, I asked at the last meeting if you could put one up.
Gotta do a study.
What?
Gotta do a study.
Street sign.
Oh, street signs.
Street sign. I had someone complaining that I gave directions to come to my house, and they had a hard time finding it. They said there was no sign over there. And I said, no, it can't be, because we have signs everywhere, but there isn't.
What's the name?
Harrison and Butler Road. And the second thing is this shrub down here at the corner of McKinley Street and Southern Avenue. For years, that's been complained about, and it's still there. Would the street department chairman please get down here and have the guys take that brush out already? Besides the safety issue for motorists, it's right there beside the fire hydrant,
Oh, I know where it's at.
which
Right
might
there in McKinley Street.
impede
We've talked
the
about
firemen from connecting their hoses up to that. So I wish you know,
You want them to go down and cut it out?
Take it out.
It's on borough property.
yes, it's on board, it's right beside the fire hydrant.
And we don't know who planted it.
All right, have them go down here.
Years ago.
Take it out, just yank it out?
Yank it up.
Have them get that, they should have street signs. I'm sure they have street signs over there.
Well, they should.
If not, we're just order one. I mean, it's
Yeah.
under
Not what I-
threshold.
And getting back to the dumpster, I did get a call from Mike, he complained, I told him, give me some proof. I can't take his word. So, that's all I have.
Can I add, Dean, you're talking about this street, coming up Northern Avenue before the first would be Garfield Street.
Yes.
Yeah, Garfield. Not the stop sign, but prior to that, there was a stop sign letting you know that the stop sign is coming. It's covered in shrubs. That needs to be cut down.
I just noticed that this week.
Yeah.
Is that the one behind my house?
Well, it's on Garfield and Northern.
No,
At
it's
the corner,
not
yeah,
together.
near, to tell you this is a stop sign.
Borough workers were over there this week and cutting all along the roads from Northern. I wonder if they may have.
It's
trimmed that.
still there.
That was
All right, we'll move on to committee reports. Building. Kenny? Anything on building?
No, I mean, I have tried to get a hold of Tupu to refresh all of us on the security cameras, and that's in progress. We had, some discussion on what day, and he would prefer, more than just a few people. So as soon as we can get all together, he's more than happy to come over any day, so. But I thought I had a chance to talk to him yesterday, so. I mean, if we get together, sometime this week.
Well, if you're going on into the weekends, hunting season's coming.
Yeah.
It started last week.
So, once turkey season comes in, I'm not gonna be available on Saturday.
Right, and like I said, I'll talk to him, I mean, from what I understand, it's not out of the realm that he'll be here, at 6 o'clock, 6:30.
Weeknight.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's probably the best for
I
everyone.
would really like to be there.
Oh, yeah, you're definitely,
You're ready. Mandatory attendance.
Yeah. I have, as far as the salt shed is concerned, I'm not up to date on the salt shed situation, maybe you can, refresh my memory.
Got the contract, got to sign it tonight.
Okay. Other than that, that's it, we're doing, man.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, since July, I've been fighting with the distributor of the Zadig stairs. Been getting a runaround from their sales department and so forth, and finally today, I was able to contact the company directly. Now, they said they don't sell just stair runs, what we have to replace. They wanted to sell us a whole box and everything, and I said, no way.
Including the frame and
They
everything.
wanted to sell a frame and everything, and I said, no way. So they gave me an alternative, which I am going to take in the next couple of days. I gotta take pictures, then I gotta email the girl at the main office, and she said she will try to get us a price on just the stair run and where it bolts onto the door. That's all we need. We need the backup plate and the
Correct.
stairs. And they said they had never had a request like
Is
that.
it not under warranty at all?
Nope,
I mean, from the manufacturer?
nope. The damage was done by a contractor, and I've gone through Mike Malak, he's tried to pin them down, and they said they are not responsible for whatever happened.
Yeah, but that's just, we can point fingers for the next 6
Yeah.
months. I
I
think
just
that what
asked
you're
what
doing,
you thought.
Yeah,
pursuing it in this manner is
See
the best
what
way.
you're doing.
And that's the only thing we can do with that.
And we're gonna put, and due to the fact that there is a weight limit on that,
Yeah.
we need to put that, where you look up there to pull the string down, it needs to be there. You don't have to search for it when you pull it down. 225 pounds is a ridiculously low amount of weight for a staircase.
Especially
To
if you
support.
have a man and needs to
Yeah,
carry something.
Yeah,
up
a big
steps.
box, that's ridiculous. So, it has to be put on there this time.
Yeah, well, I think it was 285-pound
Yeah, it was,
weight limit on it.
I thought it was less than that, but
No,
okay.
no, it's up there close to 300 pounds.
Okay.
If we're gonna store anything up there, that's gonna be a whole nother ballgame because of the insulation that's up there and so on.
Most likely, we ain't gonna be able to. store
We're not gonna be
it.
able to store anything up there.
It's just gonna be used for an access of something
With the
out.
furnace and so on.
Why do you think we can store anything up there?
Because of the insulation.
They don't have a floor down.
There's no floor, but the insulation is
Stack
up above.
above the joist.
Oh, yeah,
So,
there's almost 18
In order to
inches
do
of
it, you're gonna
insulation
take
up there.
insulation out.
More compacted, then you're defeating the purpose of that.
But the thing is, you compact it, you're gonna push on the drywall ceiling.
No, it's- yeah, okay.
So it's one thing and
Yeah,
another.
But I agree with the way you're pursuing that.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and
We're
get
probably
this
done.
emailed back to the manufacturer in Illinois and see what she can do for us.
All right.
And another thing, we have a water problem out here on the back of the building. When it rains, it goes down, so far down the driveway and underneath the sidewalk and the handicap slab. I've been shown this 2 or 3 times and I keep forgetting about it. We have to go ahead and bevel this parking lot to get that water from going underneath the slab, because this winter, if it happens to rain, it's gonna lift that slab and it's gonna break it.
No, that'll be inevitable. Yeah.
So we're gonna get the borough guys, to cut a channel
In the asphalt or is
in
it
the gravel,
in the gravel?
and get it out to the street.
Is the gravel gonna eventually spill in and you're gonna have to keep your?
Well, we just have to see how deep we're gonna have to make it,
All right.
because eventually that should be blacktopped in between these two buildings. Then have it tapered to a V so the water will go down the center. So we're gonna have to get on, we're gonna work on that before it gets cold weather and the ground gets froze.
Okay, finance, nothing?
I have one question for Henry. I mean, we're not, the paving of the streets is pretty much a dead issue. We have too many hot bids.
Yeah,
Correct. I mean, we're gonna have to use that liquid fuel somewhere. I mean, is there any way we can?
Well, the motion was made to use it for
Catch
replacing catch basins.
I know, but I mean, we can only use $10,000 for a set project. And we have a lot more than $10,000 to use. Is there any reason, is
we
there
have
any?
24, just about, it's gonna be less than that, about 22,000.
Right, and keep 6 or 7, keep 6 or so, or 7 or so for rock salt and stuff. But what I'm saying, with the other $6,000 or $8,000, is there any way we can pay somebody to come out here and pay this and put a berm in?
We're
We
not-
talk about paving the berm on someday anyhow.
You're not gonna do that for that amount of money. We can get bids on it.
Now we take a look at it anyhow, you never know.
We can call a couple guys up and see if we can get some bids on
Use
it.
it or lose it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like we're gonna, you can't roll over, use it,
Yeah, we
take the
can.
fuel.
One of the problems is getting somebody to come in for a small
You
job.
can use it extra.
Right. Yeah, you have to look into somebody that's in the area doing something else.
There's a couple of guys,
Okay, we're looking into it.
yeah.
Personnel. Personnel,
No, you know.
shade tree, police committee.
Wait a minute, let's get back to personnel.
Oh,
We have JL's health, physical papers here.
Keep them.
Did he start already?
He's already started the 28th of September.
police. Nothing.
Right now, we just have to go and discuss some items with the other municipality, which is Wkcm. And we're gonna go down with Andrew, and we're gonna talk to them. Right now, we need some things to be solid, to be defined. They defined things at the meeting last time, but we do need some things in writing. We gotta talk with them, and in the next couple of weeks, Andrew's gonna sit down with their attorney and go from there.
Okay, unfinished business.
Mr. President.
Auditor. Go ahead.
After the references were checked for Ms. Lori Griner for audit for 2015 for West Canyon Borough, all references were stellar. We have a proposal for a one-year contract for $4,000 or a proposal for a three-year contract at $3,000 per year. My motion is that we accept the $3,000 per year proposal for 3 years.
What's that for?
Ms. Lori Griner, CPA.
You're making a motion.
That's my motion.
Second,
I'll second that motion.
questions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed? All right. Bids for cleaning. Go ahead.
Oh, they're already paid. No.
This time I'd like to table the bids for cleaning to next meeting till there's discussion on how many hours we need and how many times a month. We don't have to read the bids yet. Personnel committee, get on that and decide how many hours we need, how many times a month we need them to clean. Paula?
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Any more unfinished business? New business?
I have one thing under your business.
Okay.
And this is, you have, remember you talked about the albums?
Yes.
Do you have a total count of prior council and this council
I
and
think
the
she
plan
was-
committee?
she was
Just
gonna bring
submit.
that up under new business, or do you want to do that under old business?
Because we talked about that prior, who
Yeah.
the albums that the young lady took and would make for council members.
We'll go into new business, we can do it under new business.
That's fine.
Okay.
No, he wants to wait until we'll do it now.
We're in new business now.
But new business, do you want me to read this request about the albums?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. I prepared this to Wkcm Borough Council and dated October 6th for a request for approval by council to present the following individuals with a dedication album as a gift for their long hours and expertise in making our Wkcm Borough Municipal Building and Community Center a reality. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event for our borough and one to be utilized and enjoyed by all for many years to come. And the total would be 15 albums, and that would consist of a copy of an album for each council member, the mayor, the secretary treasurer, the dedication day planners committee, and then Bernie Bowser Sr., I included him because he was one of the original building and finance committee members. And we did have him appear and have his picture included, you know, with the building and finance committee. So this, and one for the display cabinet back here to keep in the building. So that would total 15 albums, but $50 per album. So that would be $750 to be paid from the general fund. Now, there will be some miscellaneous costs yet because she came and took the official council picture, a picture of the building finance committee, a Leader Times copy. The estimate there is $5 each per picture. So thank you for your consideration in this request. And I signed the dedication committee chair, Nancy J. Capone. And I will give you a copy of this, Carly, and a copy for Dennis.
Does that need to be made in the motion?
Is that your motion?
I would like Cliff to make the motion on it.
Okay. Just as Mrs. Capone explained, 15 albums at $50 a piece. We had the album here last meeting, recess meeting, was viewed by whomever wanted to view it. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to purchase 15 albums at $50, which would be a total cost of $750, plus $15 for additional photos for the newspaper.
It's on the bottom.
Additional cost for official council picture, building finance committee, the Leader Times copy at $5 a piece, which would be $15. The additional one to that, which would be $765. My motion is to approve $765 to purchase these albums for aforementioned people.
Second,
Second that.
Paula. Questions?
I have a question. I mean, the original album, and I got lost in all the talk on that. Is she going to donate one album? Or is that we actually have to buy them for her as well? I mean, that sounds reasonable. I'm not saying that she should give us anything.
Well, we hired her,
Okay.
so I don't think there's any donation. correct?
Okay, I didn't know. I thought that it was.
Yeah.
So far, we paid her for her hours for that afternoon, and she only charged us for 2 hours, and she was here for 4, at
Yes.
least 4. And she charged $25 per hour, so Carly has already paid her the $50. There was one CD that she provided for us, and that would be a $25 charge, but I don't know if she's going to actually charge us for that, or if that was the sample of all the pictures, you know, that would be in the album.
We're maybe she could donate that and we could put that CD in this cabinet or put it in the time capsule when we get one.
Well, that would be an idea.
Before we vote on the motion today.
Well, no, the reason why I asked that is I was actually looking at it in a recess meeting,
Mhm.
and that was part of the, that was the actual vote.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
And we'll see that, she's making the council picture, and the building finance committee picture
Show that.
to be on our walls here in the borough. Now, whether she'll provide a print of that incorporate that in our existing, the album or not, I didn't ask her that.
I think she
Whether it's
should.
additional, but I kind of think she will. She went out then and took a picture of just the building, and she thought she might put that in the front square on the front of the album of the new building, so, but we need to give her an answer. And anybody that would want to purchase an album is entitled to do so at $50. So anybody that would want one, just give me their name.
You can knock that cost down by $50 as I'll purchase my own. I don't feel that I should, I didn't take this job to benefit or get anything out of it, I'll pay for it.
Okay, well, and let's do it this way then, to help that cause. I made the motion, we can approve it, all right? And then you can just, whoever wants to do what you just said, give Carly a check for $50. That'd be easier than if you want a new one. So my motion still stands to the 50.
Okay, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed? Trick or treat night, Wednesday,
We have a line up here.
Well, we got in touch with all the other municipalities around. Kittanning, Ford City, or Ford Cliff Manor and Ford City are all having it on the 29th, and Worthington's is on the 31st. So we should probably do the majority, which it would be the Wednesday prior to Thanksgiving, which would be the 29th, which it's always been like
well,
that.
another reason why the 29th will be much better is because the firemen have their parade, they'll have it on Friday night.
On Halloween night?
That's right on.
It'll be on Halloween night or the Friday before?
And they
Friday is
would like us to have trick or treat night
On
before,
Wednesday.
and not the same night as their
Yeah, that would be.
Well, what's the time, 6 to 9? Is that what they usually do?
6 to 8 is
6
what
to
we've
8?
always done in the past.
Do they need the police for that parade?
Yeah, probably should.
Yeah, and the firemen, didn't they travel around too?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna definitely drive the truck?
No, I'm gonna be in it.
I did that one year, Carly.
Did you?
Where's that guy?
Aw.
That's official?
Yeah.
That's official time? What is that again?
October 29th, 6 to 8 p.m., Wednesday night,
Trick or treat.
trick or treat.
And the fireman's parade is Friday, the 31st.
What
And
time
that's
is
again.
that?
What time?
At
Put it in
7
paper.
o'clock.
7.
All right, we have a bill here from Senate Engineering for professional services for the period through September 5th, 2004 for the salt storage shed. It's for $4,359.50. Be paid from the building loan.
I make a motion to approve that payment, Mr. President.
Second, Nancy. Questions?
That's your song?
Yep, that was for senior design, principal, 53 hours for the senior designer, and an hour and a half for the principal, which comes to $4,359.50.
When's the subject?
You know, when I had originally contacted him, it was in the $4,000 range. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't any hidden cost afterward. I mean, it's supposed to be one lump sum, they said. So just wanted to say.
Nancy, you second?
Yes, I did.
Questions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed?
Okay, then I get that back.
When's the salt shed getting started? When are
They
starting? I
have,
have to mail this.
To send it, as soon as they get it, they're gonna give the contractor the notice to proceed, and then
they have 60 days to have it complete.
we have till November 15th to borrow from the building fund.
So we're gonna get it going.
Yeah.
All right, new business, I think it's all new business. I have something new business.
I have also, Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we allocate in our budget $5,000 for a building fund, not to build a building fund, but a building fund. So maintenance, so we can buy flag holders and flags and some of the minor details, coat rack, umbrella holder that we, curtains,
Lines.
sound material for certain rooms,
Gavel.
gavel.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just some of the things, okay, but my motion is to allocate for, in the budget, $5,000 for that building maintenance fund.
Second?
I'll second that. Good.
Okay. Questions?
Who seconded?
Okay. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed? No. Who else has some? Kenny, is that you?
Nancy, I do. I have a report. Paula and I went to the Armstrong County Association of Boroughs meeting. I'd just like to give you a short report of what we found out. Okay, Armstrong County Association of Boroughs meeting was September 25th, 2014 at 6:30, and it was held at the Villa Rosa Restaurant in Kittanning. Attendees were Nancy Capone and Paula Henry. The host was Ford's Cliff Borough. The program was Pennsylvania State Association of Boroughs representatives as speakers, and that was an Edward C. Troxel, Director of Government Affairs, Ron Grutza, Grutza, Assistant Director of Government Affairs. And they spoke on the present and pending legislation regarding the following: changes to the Sunshine Act, executive sessions, and that's a House Bill 1671. I can give you a copy of this, so you don't have to get it verbatim, okay? The Pennsylvania State Associations of Boroughs, they oppose all of these changes in this bill. And secondly, major changes to the borough codes, Acts 37, 2014. That's another thing that's pending. Third thing was assistance and programs available through PSAB. And this is regarding money available through county conservation districts participating for fiscal years 2014 and 15. And this is for low-volume roads, dirt and gravel roads. And the total allegation for Armstrong County is listed at $1,031,205.
The low volume roads, they said like under 500 people traveling in a day.
Like alleys.
Yes,
Yes, and
yes.
alleys may qualify.
And that's something that we can really look into that would benefit us.
Was it just roadways only?
Mm-mm.
Was there other things besides roadways that could be involved in that? Since conservancy?
Roads, dirt, well, I picked that up.
I'm not sure exactly.
My thought was maybe that
It's
sinkhole
all over.
creek over there, we could use, maybe get some money allocated to get
Well,
that
at that
thing
point
fixed.
it was roads, what he specified, that there could be something else in
Oh,
it.
I mean, that's something we could look into. I
We
mean,
really
I know
need
that's
that.
not our responsibility, but that still is a thorn in our side.
I don't think that the state government would let us spend money to fix something that's on property.
Probably, yeah. I know, but it's still, we can still argue it's a health issue, it's a,
We have,
just thought.
we have applied for the grant she's speaking of. We've applied and received it before. I think $20,000, we just don't, we haven't.
That was the same, I think it's the same one we applied for this year, we didn't get.
We didn't get it, we just, yeah, we have gotten it before. Go ahead.
Okay. Appreciate your comments. Another thing they discussed was resolutions and preparing resolutions. Assistance is available to us. Number 5 is management of police department. They do hold classes, and I'm going to give Jim, as mayor, a copy of the classes and informational sessions that are available to us pertaining to police. Now, Pennsylvania State Association Boroughs webinar, which is online classes. There's upcoming sessions, and I have them listed here in the folder, which I'm going to turn this over to our president, and then perhaps you and Andrew could review this information, and then we thought Carly could keep it in her file in the office for future reference, because there's a lot of information that's really valuable here. On this webinar, Wkcm Borough won in the drawing a $25 gift certificate to put towards going online, doing one of these classes, any publication that is warranted and something that we would be interested in. There's conference registrations that this could be applied to, or a training class. So it's all in this folder. The Fall PSAB Leadership Conference is October 17th and 19th in Gettysburg. We do have flyers on that we have received in the mail. And then there was an annual PSAB conference executive in April of 2015, which is to be in Lancaster. And just summing this up, there is much help available to us through PSAB. We just need to contact them. And the person to contact is Edward C. Troxel, Director of Government Affairs. And one other thing, I didn't list it here, but even as far as buying a computer for the police department, there is money available through this PSAB. There's all kinds of things.
$1,000
Mhm.
or more.
So there's a lot of things perhaps available to us that we don't take advantage of or investigate,
I get a lot of emails from them, and some of them I pass along if they, like, if you come down to what they seem.
I've sent them numerous emails and questions over the years.
They're always.
They're on the ball.
Yeah.
Was it one?
This was very informational, it was a very good, they were very good speakers.
Thank you for attending.
We were glad we went.
That's
So-
why I wanted to know when the next one is.
It's,
I'm just,
Yep.
our solicitor,
Talk to my wife.
what you thought about concerning the laws and regulations concerning executive sessions and resolutions and all that, is that something that you would get contacted, or would you have to keep?
I get updates for, there's just certain things that, flyers that get sent out to us, or certain areas of the law and emails that I get.
Because some of those
On
are,
municipal law, and
just, and some of these are pretty critical, could be pretty critical items.
I just sent you an email.
All right, I'm just asking if something,
Okay.
something barn burning comes.
All right,
Mr. President, can I make a comment? That is pretty critical information on here. That Sunshine Act they didn't follow through is definitely critical. Have you, has anybody here, new council members received the Borough Association, the book they give every month? Did you ever see it? We've got it for years.
Is that the yellow one? Oh, what did they say about the book?
the book.
They do that.
They discussed that.
Yeah, they did.
They are only printing out so many copies.
Okay.
And we, I don't remember if they said we're gonna get one, or if we can purchase one.
We need to check into that because most of the
They're still in the
stuff that we're
process.
speaking about right now used to come in the mail in that book every month.
They are
Two
in stock.
copies.
They
They have stopped, I haven't.
Yeah.
You're right, I inquired about it, and they were waiting to hear about printing costs. So they had to go through like the state budget or
We said
something.
that 2 years ago.
Because I tried to request copies of the borough code, and they didn't have them available.
What's nice about it is most of the stuff that she just referred to is in that monthly manual.
Yeah.
So shame on us if we don't read it.
Sure, you can find out about it.
Okay, before we go into pay the bills, I got 3 things. The last recess meeting sort of upset me. Rumors going around. First one was Carly had told me that she heard through the grapevine that we had already hired Mickey's sister Holly as the cleaning person, which I seen Holly, I told her we were gonna hire a cleaning person to submit her resume, which she did. Second one was Bertie McKinley was all upset because somebody told her we were gonna charge them $200 to use this room. I don't know where that come from, because at that meeting, there was not even any discussion about any price.
Correct.
Third, I get around in the summer on my bike, and I stop and I talk to numerous people and discuss things in the borough. And one of the big topics that comes up is the building. And they asked me how much the building costs. I said, to them, I said, how much do you think it costs? Why? I was told $250,000. So to clear the air, the exact figures with the salt shed, as of right now, and still owing that Infinity Crane, $2,380. The total draw on that loan will be $433,973, which is payable back for 20 years with the loan agreement that was made with Farmers Bank. If it's paid off for the full 20 years, it's going to be roughly $630,000 total payback on the loan. And the bank also has, after 10 years, has the right to reset the loan rate, percentage rate, every 5 years. Reset every 5 years thereafter based on the 5-year Treasury rate plus 350 basis points. So I just wanted to get that out. I'm tired of people coming to me and saying, I heard this, I heard that, so.
And Mr. President, I don't mean to interrupt, but that's not actually the truth, is it either? I mean, you're skipping demo costs, that's not just a building. That's-
Oh, no, that's for
$60,000
that's for
yeah.
the demolition, sure, I'll
Yeah,
really
that's this, and
Yeah, you're talking probably $125,000 administration costs.
You're talking demolition, pre-demo costs,
To the building itself.
but all that factors in, because if that wouldn't have happened, you couldn't build the building.
Well, I just let
But
if
that's what the draw on the loan is right now, and that's what the payback is going to be.
What was the amount again, Bez?
As of
433.
Right now, with what we owe, Infinity, $433,973.63.
Thank you. And that's with the salt shed. And with
Yeah.
this bill, we put it in next to it, and
Minus the 2,300.
Huh?
433,973.67.
All right, move on. Motion to pay the bills.
Make a motion to pay the bills, Chairman.
Second. Questions? All those in favor? We have a couple letters that Carly's going to read.
Okay, the first is from Tim Shirley regarding the police department.
Yeah.
Alright, to whom it may concern, as a tax-paying citizen of this borough, I believe this idea of disbanding our own police force, then hiring the Buchanan police to patrol is not going to serve us the way it should serve us. We should hire our 2 police officers on a full-time basis and hire 1 or 2 other part-time officers if need be. From reading the local newspaper, Buchanan has enough problems dealing with crime in their borough. For a police officer to take a call and drive up here does not make a lot of sense. They will want to take care of what is going on in their borough first. If the borough council is able to afford to pay Buchanan to do this job, then I think this idea should be re-evaluated and other possible solutions considered before jumping right into this plan. I believe going down this road will have severe consequences in the long run, will be a detriment to those of us who call West Buchanan home. Respectfully, Tim Shirley. The other letter is from the Salvation Army. Dear potential volunteers, I hope you have had a wonderful summer and that things are looking your way this fall. That time of year again, whether we like it or not, is fast approaching, and we will once again be shoveling snow, baking lots of goodies, and spending much needed time with friends and family around the table and by the tree. The reason for my letter to you is that we are gearing up for our upcoming Christmas season here at the Salvation Army and are hoping you would like to be part of our team. We are looking for volunteers to help man our kettles. Would you or your organizations enjoy standing in the cold and snow to help us raise money? Do you have a desire to help those who are less fortunate than yourself? Then ringing a bell is a job for you. Please consider scheduling a time to volunteer as a bell ringer. We will be standing from Tuesday, November 18th through December 24th, excluding Mondays this year, at our store locations throughout Tanning and possibly Ford City. If this interests you or your group, please contact me and we will get you signed up today. Thank you for your consideration on this matter, and I pray that you feel the joy of Christ throughout these holiday seasons.
What were those dates again, Carly?
From November 18th through December 24th, excluding Mondays. It's from Lieutenant Jason Imhoff, Pastor and Commanding Officer of the Buchanan Salvation Army.
Maybe some sheets.
Yeah, they did leave a sign-up sheet.
Is there a number on there?
Yes.
This can
Could you,
read that number and
Okay.
and call.
the telephone number 724-543-6622. You can pick a date, a time, and a location. And I guess, like I said, you want to ask for Lieutenant Jason Imhoff. Probably anyone can help you.
So if anybody's interested, contact Salvation. That it? Okay, I need a motion for adjournment. Second. All in